Live from the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet welcomes you into NCAA Division II women's basketball coverage. In Game 1 of today's East Coast Conference doubleheader, the College of Staten Island Dolphins take on the Queens College Knights. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman, and I am joined on the broadcast by SI Live acclaimed podcaster, my broadcast partner, and potentially a future colleague here at CSI beyond just commentary, Nick Durst.
Yeah, great week for me on SI, Sports Illustrated, and SI, the Staten Island Advance, so we appreciate that. And, of course, above all else, on CSIDolphins.com, a great article on me. Happy to be here with you this afternoon, Joe, doing what we love to do, and that is calling some great basketball action here.
And this is going to be a very brief McDonald's pregame show. Starting lineups are being introduced out on the floor. We had a bit of technical issues ahead of tip-off, but we are here in time for the start of today's ECC doubleheader. So, Nick, we bring an end to the McDonald's pregame show after just about a minute, and we move right into the Chi Aesthetics starting lineups.
Yeah, thanks to Chi Aesthetics, Wellness Spa, Med Spa, and Wellness Center on 724 Saturday for the starting lineups. First for Queens College. Number 0, Brianna Davis. Number 5, Jalea Abrams. Number 6, Letitia Willis. Number 22, Nikiru Awaka. And number 24, Gianna Henriques. Now, for the Dolphins, number 2 is Ashley Lambert. She is the senior guard. Number 4, Kaya Johnson, the junior guard. Number 3, Noemi Amasinge, the junior forward. Number 10 is the sophomore guard, Dana Phelan. And number 13 is Jenna Alice Alarcon, the junior forward. The head coaches, Nicole Sarcone for the Dolphins. And for Queens College, Elizabeth Nawemski.
Thank you, Nick. Those the starting lineups presented by Chi Aesthetics, Med Spa, and Wellness Center. Nick, I'd hope to talk a bit more about it during the pregame show, but the Dolphins now in the midst of a 3-game winning streak. They go for 4 straight here today, look to make it a perfect 2-0 against the East Coast Conference with a win over the Knights. And, Nick, Queens a bit shorthanded today. I was told that prior to tip-off, Queens had just 6 active players, so the Knights missing a few bodies here today.
Absolutely, Joe. So we'll see if they have the stamina in this game. A lot of players got to play some heavy minutes, and we'll see if that impacts the game.
And we have tip-off from the tank on today's East Coast Conference doubleheader, Dolphins and the Knights from the College of Staten Island. Off the tip, CSI possesses first. This is Masinge. She finds an open Johnson. That's no good. And the rebound goes to the Knights.
Last game for the Dolphins, Alarcon double-double. And Ashley Lambert with a great game, her strongest game of the season, knocking in a ton of points.
First possession of the game for Queens now as they look to feed it inside. Dolphins do a good job to deny the entry pass. Finally, Awaka gets it. Can't get the bank shot to go. On the follow, no good. Rebound again goes to the Knights. That was Letitia Willis. And Willis is now double-teamed along the baseline and fouled.
Early foul by the Dolphins. Just 42 seconds into the game.
Foul goes on Dana Phelan, her first. Phelan was in foul trouble in CSI's last game. That was played earlier in the week at Malloy. As we have an early turnover by the Knights on a 5-second violation.
Phelan has really taken a huge step forward this season, Joe, in her sophomore season, doing a lot of the scoring for this Dolphins team. And between her and Lambert, when they get hot from three-point range, it's hard for the opponents to come back in the games.
Lambert out to Johnson. Johnson on the pull-up. No good. Alarcon has the offensive board. Dolphins work it around the perimeter. Masinge, big crossover along the baseline. Can't finish. Ball loose and pulled in by Willis.
We'll see if Queens just goes at a very slow pace throughout this game. Not going to see probably too many presses or fast break pushes because, again, only 6 players, and they need to keep in shape and keep their stamina up throughout this game as the foul was committed there.
That was Henriquez powering her way to the basket and drawing the contact to get to the line. Foul on Jenelise Alarcon, her first, and the free throw too strong by Henriquez. Second free throw on the way, also too strong, but rebounded again by the Knights. Three-pointer on its way, once again too strong by Abrams, but Abrams grabs her own miss. Knights have a lot of size out there on the floor, and right now the Dolphins are struggling on the glass. Henriquez stands 6'4".
We did see in the last home game we did, Joe, a bit of a similar start. A stalemate early, 0-0 for a few minutes.
We've spoken about it more than once this season. The Dolphins have had some offensive droughts during games, but during the last three, they have been able to overcome that. CSI still looking for their first points of the afternoon. No scores. We approach 2 minutes gone by in the first quarter. Lambert out to Johnson. To the corner for Alarcon. Back up to Johnson. Now Masinghe. Masinghe crosses over, picks up her dribble, and gets it away. 5 to shoot. Phelan, top of the arc. Looks to drive. Throws one up. No good. And rebounded again by Willis.
This game's played early on here, much like a Jets game. Offense hard to find.
Yeah, let's not talk about the New York Jets. It was a very rough Black Friday for me at MetLife Stadium, as Phelan does a good job there to tie up Awaka. And it will stay Knights basketball. Possession arrow favors Queens. .17 on the shot clock. And I think Tutulatasi had her foot on the baseline. Another turnover for Queens. Lambert over to Phelan. Phelan double team briefly. Finds Johnson in the corner. Johnson finds a cutting Alarcon, and the layup won't go.
Good pass there, but layup does not fall.
Still no points. 3 minutes into this first quarter. Willis kicks out. Davis for three. No good, and rebounded again by the Knights. Henriquez can't finish, and the putback will go down as the Knights score the game's first points.
First points of the game, and right there it came down to the huge size advantage, as it was 6'4" going up against 5'8".
Masinghe knocks it down.
Masinghe comes back and gets a roar from the crowd. The dance team up there, Joe, cheering on the Dolphins.
This is Davis surveying the floor. Shot clock inside of 20. Totolesi into the lane. Awaka finds a cutting Willis, and the floater is good off the window.
What you talking about, Willis? Taking it to the hoop there, laid it up and in.
Phelan thought about the three, hands off to Masinghe. And Masinghe traveled. And you have to think Nicole Sarcone didn't like what she has seen so far. 5 new Dolphins onto the floor.
Yeah, rough start for both teams here. Dolphins now going to the second unit, something that Queens is not going to be able to do in this game.
Haggett, LaFaro, Stackhouse, Moore, and Rose in for Staten Island. Dolphins in their zone defense. Good contest at the rim by CSI. Rebound by Rose. Rose up ahead for LaFaro. And LaFaro will dribble back out beyond the three-point line. Rose, mid-range jumper, is good.
Well, Joe, Rose has been on a tear. She's really upped her scoring this season and has become one of the leading scorers for this Dolphins squad.
Dolphins have had several players these last few games beginning to find their rhythm offensively and score the basketball efficiently. Rose, one of them, along with Ashley Lambert, as that shot is too strong, and there's a block by Rose. Rebound goes to the Knights. They have 5 to shoot. And that was poked right into the arms of Stackhouse.
Good job there by Brianna Moore to knock down that pass, but the Dolphins end up turning it over.
And we will head to immediate timeout. Our score with 4:39 to go in the first quarter. Staten Island 4, Queens 4. Chi Aesthetics Med Spa and Wellness Center. Our approach to beauty and wellness begins with a holistic plan tailored to the unique needs of our patients. When we consult with patients, we let them tell us what their problem is. We don't tell them what the issue is. We find out what they're looking for, and we discuss, and then we give them options. If you're looking to achieve radiant skin, you've come to the right place. We offer hydrofacials, microneedling, Opus Plasma, peels, facial and laser treatments, laser hair removal, body sculpting, fat freezing, hormone replacement therapy, Botox, IV drip therapy, and more. We are open Monday through Saturday and are located at 720 Forest Avenue, Staten Island, New York, 10310. We hope to see you soon. Visit our website at www.chiaesthetics.com for more information. And we are back from the tank, where it's been a slow start offensively in this first quarter for both teams. The Dolphins and the Knights tied at 4 per side with 4:39 remaining in this first quarter. And Nick, we've seen the Dolphins get off to some slow offensive starts. They've rebounded very well typically when they've started that way, and they'll hope to do so again here today.
Well, the old saying is slow and steady wins the race, but I think the coach, Nicole Sarkon, would like her team to come out a little more aggressive here and drop down the points early on in these games.
Well, last time out, the Dolphins did not get off to a slow start against Queens. They jumped out to a nice early lead in the first quarter against the Lions. That lead was erased. Most of that happening in the third quarter. The Dolphins fell behind in that third quarter, battled back in the fourth, forced overtime behind some clutch shooting, and went on to win the game, as that shot is no good off glass, and a foul is committed underneath by Stackhouse. That will send Awaka to the line for 2 shots. And before, Nick, you touched on Kyra Rose really beginning to step up for the Dolphins the last couple of games, players that have gotten going. The numbers for Rose in the last 4 games, 8 points, 20 points, 3 points, and 15 points, to go along with 10 rebounds, 11 rebounds, and then 6 rebounds in each of the last 2 games. And you have to think part of the reasoning behind getting Rose in the game was the struggles the Dolphins have had early on the glass.
Yeah, and she's been great coming off the bench and cleaning up the boards for sure.
And unfortunately, I had another game to cover on Sunday. I couldn't be here for our women's basketball game, but I did join Nick Bavona for the pregame as Rose attacks the basket and can't get the bank shot to go. Rebound goes to the Knights. But on Sunday, I mentioned that a player to watch out for would be Ashley Lambert. She was off to a bit of a slow start in terms of scoring, had not scored more than 5 points in CSI's first 4 games, and Lambert has really come on strong the last 2 games, 16 points and 18 points.
Yeah, Lambert, we know she has the ability to get really hot from three-point range, and she has the last 2 games.
Davis on the pull-up, no good. Once again, an offensive rebound for the Knights, and the putback goes.
Hard to defend her.
So pronunciation guide for the Knights came in about 20 minutes before tip-off. I now have that in front of us, Nick, so if you need to refer to it, we have it right here on our laptop. But I believe the correct pronunciation of Gianna's name is Gianna Henriquez. We'll have to get that to Andrew at halftime over at Public Address. Rose on the wing, big crossover, gets to the basket and draws a foul.
Dolphins down to 4 here. And Rose will head to the free throw line.
Dolphins have actually started strong each of their last 2 games, going back to Sunday. As that free throw is good by Rose, and you spoke to Kyra after she was our TLC Physical Therapy co-player of the game. That was back on November 21st, and she said her free throw shooting was something she's been working on.
Yeah, she was great in that game with her free throws, and she said she was working on it, and it's the proof is in the pudding. She's doing a great job during the games here with her free throws this season.
Knights have it, leading by 2. Just over 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. On the wing, Davis gives it up to Willis. Her jump shot, way too long, air ball. And that ball is saved straight into the arms of Lizzie LaFaro, who had it poked away from behind, nearly stolen. Bodies on the floor, and the Knights come away with the steal.
Great job there by the Knights. 3 Knights jumping on that ball.
How about the effort from the shorthanded Queens squad early in the game? Kick out to Davis. Left open. Can't connect. Stackhouse has the rebound. Was nearly trapped.
Stackhouse and Haggett getting a lot of playing time as of late here for the Dolphins early on in their college careers.
LaFaro. The 10 to shoot. Feeds it inside. Moore. Finds Rose, who fakes. Goes up. And does not get the roll.
Ring around the rosy right there, but the ball rolled out.
Pun intended?
No pun intended there.
No
Joe.
pun intended. With you, I always have to ask. You never know. Very clever, the man to my right. Kick out to Davis again. Nice head fake. And shoots and gets it to go over Moore.
Davis wide open there. Able to knock down the shot.
I'm shocked Moore didn't block that. She was right there, defended perfectly by Moore, who stepped up out of the paint. Better offense by Davis. Haggett's pass, not a good one, and it is stolen. Awaka to the basket, lays it in.
As easy as it's going to get there. No one even close to her on the fast break. Coach Sarcone can't be happy with the performance of her Dolphins squad here in the first quarter, giving up 12 points, only scoring 6 so far.
That ball tipped toward us, and Willis brings it in. She goes right at Haggett, can't finish with the left hand. And a tie-up under the basket finally draws a whistle for a jump ball.
Great job there by Haggett to get back. Great effort there. Disrupts the shot. Queens cannot score, and the tangle up and ultimately possession arrow favors the Dolphins here.
Dolphins trailing by 6 with under a minute to go in this first quarter. Concerning start for the Dolphins, not only offensively, but a couple of sloppy turnovers the last 2 possessions, and on the glass they've had trouble closing out their stops with rebounds. CSI will turn it over again.
There's not too much flow for the Dolphins here offensively in this first quarter. And as you mentioned, a lot of turnovers and having trouble on the glass.
Feet inside. Awaka gets it to go. Count the basket and one. Awaka to the line for one more and a chance to put Queens up by 9. And the free throw is good. Everyone was confused, it appeared. The players confused me, as that basket was good. Only one free throw. Nobody was moving.
I don't understand what just happened. I guess the foul's not on the shot.
Moore throws one up. Wild shot. Won't go. 1 second to go in the quarter, and the Knights will not get a shot off. That would not have counted. And that will bring us to the end of one. Our score through 10 minutes. Queens College 15, Staten Island 6.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we are back from the tank, where the Dolphins were held to just 6 points in the opening quarter. Queens College leads Staten Island 15-6. And Nick, concerning isn't only that the Dolphins only scored 6 points, but the Knights attempted 18 shots to CSI's 10. Good news on that front for CSI is that the Knights only made 6 of those 18 shots.
Yeah, but you need to wonder how long is that going to last with the way that things are going right now. And the Dolphins need to have a strong quarter here.
And Nick, we spoke about it when the quarter ended. The number that leaps off the stat line from the first quarter, the Knights out-rebounded the Dolphins 18-3 as a travel was called underneath. The basket does not count, and it will be CSI basketball.
Well, Alarcon back in the game now. She's in there with Rose, so got to hope with these two, potentially the Dolphins could start getting some more rebounds.
That's a very formidable rebounding duo of Alarcon and Rose. The Dolphins hope that will help them out on the glass a bit. 15 to shoot for the Dolphins now. This is Rose. Through contact, count the basket, and one.
Well, a little ring around the rosy, getting around the defenders there. And a pocket full of baskets there as it drops in, and Rose goes to the free throw line for one more.
Pun intended. As the Dolphins will have a chance to cut it to 6.
For sure that time. The last time, it just came in my mouth, and I wasn't even thinking. But, maybe sometimes the mind works faster than you can expect.
Sometimes we speak before we think, as Rose is too strong on the free throw. 15-8 Knights as we approach 9 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Shout out to Tyler, who's doing a great job engineering today, as well as working our hero cam, as that's just the way it's got to be.
Double duty for Tyler, as that shot won't go inside by Awaka, and the second try is good. Second chance points piling up now for Queens as Johnson travel.
Tyler's really got the best seat in the house. He gets to watch the live action, and he has a head start. He can listen to us.
It's a pretty good seat, I have to say. If I had to choose one spot in the tank to be seated for a game day, it wouldn't be anywhere other than the commentary desk.
Right.
Though the concession stand would be a close second because I'd have an
hard to see the game, though.
Well, that's going to change, and that's why I brought it up. So this is a great segue.
Monitor, they're going to watch us?
Correct. As the bank shot for Awaka is good. Another and one for the Knights. And Queens right back to the free throw line with a chance to make it a 12-point game. But, Nick, they are going to add a monitor up near the concession stand.
How about that? It's going to be like you're at Madison Square Garden. Go out to get a concession, you watch the game.
I have the inside info. The plan is to install a 70-inch Roku Smart TV on the wall above the trophy case. We will have, obviously, the Roku TV giving us the ability to connect straight to the ECC network. You and I will be broadcast up on the concourse, and on non-CSI game days, they will have a rotating group of ads from our great sponsors.
Beautiful.
That pass was tipped and stolen. Awaka to the basket, was stripped by Johnson, and it will stay Knights basketball.
Dolphins looking for any sort of offense right now, but instead we're just seeing a bunch of turnovers, and right now they're down 12.
The two teams have already combined for 15 turnovers. So that pass was tipped, nearly stolen. That was almost number 16. 8 for the Dolphins, 7 for the Knights. 12 to shoot. Abrams rattles out. And a foul is called underneath. And the foul was called against Rose. That inbound nearly tipped. It was snatched by Awaka, who then traveled. Now 8 turnovers for each team. This Dolphins team over the last couple of seasons, and it's been characteristic of this team under Nicole Sarcone since moving to Division II full-time. They've been very resilient. They've shown the ability to play from behind and come back. And they hope to get that comeback started early as Lambert can't convert. And a foul was called underneath as Masinghe went down to the floor.
Masinghe went down hard. Luckily, like in WWE, she tucked her head. Otherwise, that could have been dangerous.
Unless you're taking the Styles Clash, tuck the chin.
You and our colleague No Nonsense Nino at the Barclays Center last night.
We were laying the smackdown on Brooklyn. This is Masinghe to the basket, and she draws a foul.
Number 6, Letitia Willis, her second, the team's third.
And Masinghe's free throw rattles out. Dolphins now 2 of 4 from the line. The Knights 4 of 6. Second free throw also no good. Queens by 12. 7.5 to go, second quarter. Willis thought about the jumper. Instead kicks out for Abrams. Willis inside, pass tipped and stolen. Here comes Phelan. Phelan for Rose, and that is stolen by Davis.
Great job by Queens, getting back almost every possession for the Dolphins and getting a hand on the ball.
Have to like the energy the Knights are playing with, given the fact that they have just 6 active players. These players certainly making the most of their minutes. Abrams with 6 on the shot clock. Caught it Lacey for Willis, and Willis knocks down the mid-range shot.
Willis open, and she's able to capitalize, dropping in the basket.
Johnson for Rose in the corner. Rose, scoop shot, and it goes in off the window.
Nice move by her there. That's the second time we've seen her do a crazy shot going to the basket and making it in.
Rose with a bit of an awkward flip at the basket. And that step back was rejected by Rose. Here come the Dolphins on the break. Phelan open for 3. No good. And that was tipped away from Kaya Johnson. And it will stay Dolphins basketball. Timeout has been called by the Knights. And we'll step aside for a quick break. 30-second timeout, Queens.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calabrese.
Here we are, 200 episodes later, about 150 episodes with guests, our friends, soon to be your friends.
Well, it's pretty clear, Joe, that it's all about You Know I'm Right, the podcast. That's my You Know I'm Right moment. Wanted to do a podcast, and everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen? You're not going to get guests. Well, guess what? I'm the best when it comes to getting guests. You could vouch for that.
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials, check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, whether you work in media now, whether you want to quit your job and work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
And we are back from the tank with the Dolphins trail 22-10. 5:44 to go in the first half. It will be Dolphins basketball. 20 on the shot clock after the ball was knocked out of bounds by Queens ahead of that last 30-second timeout. Dolphins just struggling for offense right now. They've gotten a bit of a jolt from Kyra Rose, and she's entered the game. Very quickly, 8 points for Rose, 3 of 5 from the floor.
Rose on the bench now, so we'll see if the Dolphins could bounce any offense without her.
That's a bit surprising given the way she's played.
She was at the trainer's table during the break, but she's okay now.
Alarcon missed the three, and Masinghe gets the layup to go on the second try off the offensive board.
Great effort there by Masinghe. Powered that in with one arm.
And a foul was called. That goes against Kaya Johnson.
Dolphins foul number 4, Kaya Johnson for first, team's third.
Just over 5 minutes to go. First half. Willis drives baseline and was rejected by Masinghe. Phelan over to Lambert. Now Masinghe for Johnson. Deep two. No good. Rebound tipped, and it will be Knights basketball.
Dolphins able to get this down to 10 points now. See if they can get it into a single-digit deficit over the last 4:54 in this half.
Knights facing a Dolphins press now. Davis on the wing, 15 to shoot. High pass brought in by Tardet Lacey. And a double dribble is called. Another turnover for Queens. The turnovers really piling up for both teams. Double digits now on both sides. 10 turnovers each for CSI and Queens.
20 turnovers. They're on pace for 50 turnovers in this game for both teams combined.
It's been a sloppy start. That ball looked like it was kicked. And I think a foul may have been called against Queens, and it was. Davis picks up her first. Phelan for LaFaro. LaFaro across court for Masinghe. Noemia looks to drive and is stuffed at the rim.
Good defense there by Queens.
Awaka straight up. And the fast break layup for Davis won't go. She thought she was fouled. And perhaps the ball don't lie. I thought she was hit on the arm.
Ends up knocking it in.
Davis ended up throwing up an air ball, potentially because of the contact, and ended up with the ball anyway and scores. The Knights back in front by 12. Alarcon left open, and she connects from the mid-range.
Gonna need a lot more of that for the Dolphins here.
For Alarcon, that's her first basket on 3 tries.
Dolphins going with a trap here now for the first time this game.
Knights navigate it well. They're left with 18 to shoot. Davis on the pull-up. No good. Nice rebound by Masinghe, who came soaring in. Johnson for Masinghe. Back out to Johnson, who bobbled it. And the Dolphins will reset. LaFaro directing traffic, 7 to shoot. She nearly lost the ball. Will try a 3. Off the mark. Rebounded by Awaka. Under 2.5 to go in this second quarter. Knights lead it 24-14, and Queens has turned it over again. Johnson pulls up and knocks it down.
Needed that from Johnson, and now for the first time in a long time, it's only a single-digit deficit, 8 points.
Knights do a good job to avoid the Dolphins' press. Left with a bit more time on the shot clock this possession as it ticks inside of 20. And that one's off the hands of Davis and out of bounds. Nick, it looks like the CSI dance team is making their way into the gym. They will perform at halftime following our TLC Physical Therapy halftime report. Inside of 2 minutes to go on the court. Dolphins trail by 8. Chance to make a run here at the end of the half. Get a bit closer going into halftime. This is Rose, left open, and she makes the Knights pay.
Nice job there by Rose, who just came back in off the bench. 10 points for her now.
You have to like what you've seen from Rose offensively, and you have to like what the Dolphins did defensively right there. Alarcon wide open. She knocks it down, and it's a 4-point game.
Good defense leading to easy offense. 1 minute left here. The clock's running. Got to fix the clock. The referee is talking to the scorer's table.
Dolphins wreaking havoc now with the press, and you have to think that the Knights, having only 6 players, have to be taxed by this kind of defense from CSI. The Dolphins free to rotate players in and out of the game.
Have to use that to your advantage if you're the Dolphins. Keep your players fresh, do the press, and keep rotating them in and out while tiring out Queens.
By my count, the Dolphins have used 10 players, and they have 13 on their bench overall. 13 players total active, I should say. Right now they have 8 on the bench, and CSI forces another turnover.
CSI can go 2 for 1 here.
Johnson, no good. Rebound tipped and brought in by LaFaro. They're giving Johnson plenty of room from 3.
Johnson not one to shoot the 3 often.
Was off to a nice start from 3 this season. She pulls up, and again is too strong. $18 on the shot clock for Queens. Kick out for Abrams, deep 2. Too strong. Willis, offensive board. Putback won't go with the left. And she snatches another offensive rebound before a jump ball was forced. Possession arrow favors the Knights.
Great effort by Abrams on the glass all game long.
Caught it, Lacey will inbound. Abrams with 13 seconds to go in the quarter. Queens look to feed it inside. Instead, they find an open Willis. And Willis can't connect. As another offensive rebound results in a turnover. Don't know if they called a foul or a travel, and they do. They call foul on Henriks. Now, would you read this Henriks or Henriques? I think with the I, that's Henriks.
Henriks?
Yeah.
With the E at the end, I don't know. We're looking at HEN-RICKES.
I think that's Henriks. Or Henriquez.
Henriquez.
I think that's correct, Henriquez. That's what I said before.
I know Andrew's saying one thing.
All right, loose ball foul is
All right.
officially the call. So the foul came on the pursuit of that offensive rebound, and it puts the Dolphins in the bonus as LaFaro hits from the line.
Just a 3-point game now, Joe. What a run for the Dolphins here to close out the half. And the second free throw is good, so 24-22. Queens will see if they get a shot off.
And they will. But it's no good. Well short. And that will do it for the first half. Our score heading into halftime. Queens 24, Staten Island 22. TLC Physical Therapy halftime report coming up next.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And that was the CSI dance team in lieu of our TLC Physical Therapy halftime report. Nick, I'm not sure that CSI head coach Nicole Sarcone was very happy with that first half. She did not come over, headed straight to the locker room to have a word with her team, which brought the CSI dance team out to the floor for a special halftime performance, their debut here at the Tank. They've been practicing for quite some time in preparation for today.
Great job by Sal Caruso getting that all coordinated.
Of course, Sal always does a great job. And Nick, Thursday night, this coming week, a big night for us. Students versus faculty and staff. No nonsense Nino will be there. I will be there.
Tuesday night volleyball.
I don't know about that one, but
Thursday
basketball.
night, I will not be here for sure, as I'll be celebrating my anniversary.
That can wait.
It only comes around once a year.
It can wait until Friday. It's easier on Friday anyway.
Last year's students faculty basketball game for me was not very fun because all the coaches ended up playing, and I got about 5 minutes of playing time.
Well, that was what we deserved, given the way we played. It was not a good showing for the sports information
You had your
staff.
AirPod in.
I did. Forgot about it.
I heard No Nonsense Nino is pretty good with the rebounds.
We will find out on Thursday, as once again, this is halftime at the College of Staten Island. We have about 10 minutes to go before the start of the second half, so Nick and I will step off headset. When we come back, the final 20 minutes of this East Coast Conference women's basketball matchup between the College of Staten Island and Queens College.
Basketball has a special place in my heart because of the experiences it has given me and the purpose I have found along the way. Basketball taught me that success doesn't require perfection. Rather, I should pursue excellence in everything that I do. Basketball has led me on a journey where I've accumulated numerous life lessons to value relationships, practice integrity, and demonstrate commitment. I've learned to welcome mistakes and not only accept adversity, but embrace it. It has the unique effect of eliciting talents in someone which would have otherwise lain dormant. It is something that builds character, an element that is essential to a player's growth and development. You sometimes wonder if all the mornings and late nights are really worth it. Then you look to your left and right, and you see your teammates beside you, and you know you're not alone. And it's comforting. When you're part of a team, there's a special joy in playing for something bigger than yourself. Basketball taught me how to embrace a community. Like music, it brings people together. When you make contributions to your team, your program, it's a rewarding feeling knowing the impact you have on the larger community when you observe how much it inspires the people around you.
Dear basketball, I was only a few months old when I took my first photograph with a ball in my lap. From that moment on, you never left me. Growing up in a small village in upstate New York, 2 miles from the Canadian border, you were my constant go-to for fun and entertainment. No matter if there was 3 feet of snow or the sun was scorching hot, I always found a way to be with you as you brought me so much joy. As a child, you always had a way of bringing the neighborhood kids together. Every day we would find our way to the circular paved patio I had in my yard with an 8-foot rim nailed to a tree. It wasn't the classiest court to play on, but it worked for us, and it's where my passion for you began. Little did I know you would take my friends and family on a journey of a lifetime. It was from you where I learned to be brave, courageous, and adventurous, that if I stuck with it through my moments of failure, disappointment, and heartache, I could achieve anything I put my mind to. Like attending Duke University on a full scholarship where I was able to surround myself in greatness both in the classroom and on the court. It is here where I truly learned how to step out of my comfort zone and discover what I was made of, refusing to let my insecurities and fears hold me back. Gail Gueston-Course and her incredible staff, along with my teammates, gave me a family away from home that I could have never dreamt of as a little girl. The ACC championships, the NCAA tournaments, including the national championship game in 1999, cannot match the friendships and relationships I developed because of basketball. See, I find it to be the relationships that we develop through our sports participation that are in fact the most meaningful and memorable. Basketball, you have given me a life team that I can never repay you for. You have supplied me with a platform that allows me to give back, to inspire, motivate, encourage individuals to go after their passions, to push through their failures and be fearless in stepping out of their comfort zones. It was because of you I was able to start my first company with co-founder Colleen Healy from UConn Women's Basketball called Orca Leadership. Orca standing for opportunity, resilience, contribution, and accountability. All 4 pillars we learned from playing your game. Even further, we were able to start up our own academy called Beyond the Game Academy, helping athletes across the country reach their dreams. I could have never imagined this life, and I have you to thank. Thank you, basketball.
The opportunities that basketball provided for me has been crazy. Being able to travel all over the world to even a different country, just being able to meet so many different people and build so many different relationships has definitely just opened so many doors for me.
Opportunities that basketball has provided me, just to meet a lot of people, travel a lot of places, around the world and also around the country. It's just, a great experience to make me a more well-rounded person.
Just being able to learn from my teammates, learning really what sacrifice is about, learning about hard work, just being a part of a team, having that support group, having somebody that's there to support you no matter what. It's been great.
Basketball has given me a lot of opportunities. Obviously, just traveling and coming here, this is special. And we went to Spain over the summer, and I had never been out the country before that, so it was special. And obviously, just giving me a free education. It's a big thing, and I'm glad basketball has been able to do it for me.
It's provided a lot of opportunities, provided me to get a college degree, travel places that I never thought I would travel to, and just meet new people.
I'd say basketball has just provided me with a variety of opportunities. Just the connections that I made in the Purdue community, and kind of just growing as a player and as a person has. I'm definitely blessed and grateful to have all these opportunities.
Dear basketball, since I was a kid, you have always been a way for me to clear my mind of everything going on in life and just have fun playing and competing. You led me to CNU, where I've become a part of a close-knit basketball family. You've let me build a relationship with my brothers that not many people get to experience, and these relationships have been able to grow and will certainly last a lifetime. You have taught me that this sport is more than getting the best stats or winning the most games, but it's about enjoying the experience, making a difference in the community, and always competing at my highest level. Through great leadership from Coach K and other coaches, you have given me top-of-the-line resources to learn not only about the game, but about life and being a man of integrity and humility. I would not be the person I am today if it wasn't for you, and I am forever grateful for the lessons you have taught me and the memories that I will have for the rest of my life.
College basketball has provided me with a platform to not only have fun on the court and be around some amazing teammates, but also kind of supplement academics with just another side of the Notre Dame experience, because sports are such an important part of the tradition there, and being a part of the Notre Dame sports tradition in any way is just an incredible honor. It's amazing. Just being here all week, there's just so much recognition for such an amazing sport and such amazing teams that are here, and to be a part of that in any small way is just incredible, and I'm so lucky to be here. Just the value of determination, perseverance, and self-confidence in getting where you want to go in life. I've definitely learned a lot being around a team of such strong, inspiring women, and I can only hope to emulate their talent on the basketball court in other parts of my life. I'm a computer science major in Notre Dame's College of Engineering, and I was really drawn to it because I've always kind of loved math and science, and it's a really fun way to apply problem-solving skills to different situations, especially in today's day and age where technology is becoming such an integral part of society. Just figuring out different ways I can contribute to that, I'm really excited to see where it'll take me in the future. I think just the general mindset of approaching something from how can I solve this in not only the best way but the most efficient way, because there's a big emphasis on that in a lot of my classes, and just kind of seeing how the sports world and the academic world can overlap, even with just the GPS things that we wear during practice to keep track of how hard we're working. Just the technology behind that is super interesting to me also. When I first came to campus, I was hoping to get involved in the women's basketball program in some way, and I applied to be a manager, and I thought that would be an awesome opportunity, super excited. And then I got an email about walk-on tryouts. I'm like, oh, this would be a great way to go meet other girls to play pickup with. I had no idea it would lead to any of this, trust me, but I'm so glad it has. And after that, that's how I met some of the women's basketball people and how I got connected to be a team manager for the program. So I started doing that first semester of my freshman year, and then, as you probably know the story last year with the 4 ACL tears, they just needed another practice player kind of thing. So I turned from a manager to a walk-on and got the opportunity to go in some games, just help the team out any way I could. And that was an incredible ride, obviously ending with the championship last season, which was amazing. And then same thing this year, kind of just some injuries happened and they needed someone to step up. So I'm here to be whatever they need me to be, and I'm so blessed to be a part of this program in any way. Kind of going between the manager and walk-on role, it is a different type of thing I'm doing, but it's still being around the same girls every day and just being around the team. And for me, that was such a valuable thing. And again, I guess my passion for basketball and how much I just love the sport kind of made that seem easy. Not really something I thought about a ton, just because every day it wasn't about what I could do. It was just about kind of getting out and playing the game I love every day and just being around it in any way.
Basketball has given me everything in my life. Like, it's given me a chance to get a college education. Gives my families to take like trips to these cool tournaments we go to, and most importantly, my relationships with the people I've met throughout the years, and Coach Izzo down to my junior high coach. It's provided me with great relationships with teammates and guys that I'll be talking to for the rest of my life.
Basketball has provided me with just obviously the education portion of it is huge, and also just the relationships I was able to build with my teammates, guys on different teams that go to my school, like the football team and the soccer team. There's also just the relationships that I'm able to build outside of, athletics, and I believe that's huge, just being able to go and meet new people, especially at a big university like Ohio State, and just kind of get your network around and just see the way different people think and react to things.
I'd say basketball provided me with, the opportunity just to be around good people and meet people that can help me in life and give me a free education and be able to somewhat set myself up for a better life.
It has offered me opportunity to go to college, to leave my hometown, travel the world, build outstanding relationships and friendships. I'm forever grateful and a lot of gratitude to the game of basketball and to God for putting the basketball in my hands. So basketball has really blessed me a lot.
And we are back for the start of the second half from the College of Staten Island. And Nick, the Dolphins did finish the first half strong. They made a run toward the end of the second quarter, pulled to within 2 after trailing, I believe, by as many as 14.
Yeah, good run there at the end. Rose leading the way for the Dolphins, scoring in the first half with 10 points.
Largest lead was indeed 14 for the Knights. You said it, Kyra Rose leading the way for the Dolphins with 10. Rose coming off the bench today as that feed goes to Lambert, and the floater is good.
Lambert's first points of the game. Want to see a lot more of that, but we had a tie game for the first time since early on when it was 0-0.
On the other side, and Kuru Awaka leading the Knights in scoring with 12 points. She was 4 of 8 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line. And Nick, the Dolphins have forced yet another turnover to start this third quarter.
Good defense.
Lambert short on the 3, rebound by Willis. Foul is called against CSI.
All right, fouls here for both teams.
Willis looking to feed it inside. Instead, kicks it up top. 9 to shoot now. Davis surveys the floor. Willis into the corner. Abrams for 3. Too strong, tipped, and another foul was called against Henriquez.
Well, Joe, the Dolphins here, it would behoove them to get Queens in foul trouble. Obviously, if anybody fouls out for Queens, that's it. We're down to 5 players only.
Well, the bench not happy with Abrams as she takes a seat. 8.5 to go, third quarter. We are all tied up at 24. Alarcon for Johnson. Out to Masinghe. And right back to Johnson. Deep 2. No good. Awaka has the rebound. And Nick, I think it's fair to say the Queens rebounding is the reason this score is tied. They have turned the ball over 16 times and are shooting just 31%, but they have dominated on the glass. And Awaka continues to wreak havoc at the offensive end in the paint.
27 rebounds for Queens, only 9 for the Dolphins. Big difference there.
Lambert to the basket, and she banks it in, and 1.
Lambert fired up. She'll go to the free throw line to potentially give the Dolphins their first lead of the game.
Lambert did not score in the first half. 4 quick points on 2 shots here in the second half. make it 3 shots in the second half. She did miss a 3 from the corner. Free throw no good. The Dolphins will settle for a tie. We're knotted up at 26. Willis back up top for Davis. Phelan with a nice closeout. Now Awaka on the baseline. Back out to Davis. 10 to shoot. Willis sets a screen for Davis. And a 3-second violation was called. Dolphins with a chance to take the lead here. Lambert out to Johnson. Masinghe given room, finds Alarcon. Alarcon with the fake, finds Johnson open. No good. And a foul was called immediately following the rebound by Tardet Lacey. Didn't see who it was called on. The announcement's coming. At least I thought so. The live stats will never fail us.
Sure, Nick Pavona's got it covered in the live stats.
Well, it does say Staten Island foul. It does not say on whom. As we have another whistle at this end. And I think they may have called another 3 seconds, Nick.
You don't see that too often, then. You've seen it twice in a game. Shocking.
Dolphins foul was charged to Noemi and Masinghe. And an offensive foul is called against the Dolphins. The team's trading fouls now as Enriquez heads to the bench. Just over 6.5 to play, third quarter. We're still tied at 26. And the Knights cough it up again. Here comes Johnson on the break. She has Phelan. Pass was tipped. Alarcon tracks it down and banks it in. CSI takes the lead.
First lead of the game for the Dolphins comes in the second half.
And a kick ball was called as the Dolphins got a foot on that one. Knights will inbound again with 29 on the shot clock. Rose and LaFaro into the game for the Dolphins. Masinghe and Johnson head to the bench. Tardet Lacey finds Willis. Corner 3, Davis. No good. And rebounded by the Dolphins. LaFaro given room for 3. Splash.
Lacey with her first 3 of the game gives the Dolphins their biggest lead of the afternoon as we head to break.
Dolphins have continued what they started late in the second quarter and have come out strong to start the third. Timeout called by the Knights with 5:50 to go in the third.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we are back from the tank where we have just successfully recruited Tyler for the students versus faculty staff.
Yeah, but is he going to play as a student
game.
or is he going to play as a staff member?
We had this discussion during soccer, and I made it very clear to Tyler that if he wants his internship to continue to its fulfillment, he will be playing for the staff.
Yeah, but what if he plays for the students and he throws the game?
Well, that's different. Then if he wants to do that.
How's your basketball skills, Tyler? Give it a thumbs up, thumbs down.
CYO for 2 years. That was a long time ago. That's the Catholic Youth Organization. So that's also the last time I played competitively. So me and Tyler are in the same boat. However,
who are you going to be talking to on the phone when you play in this game?
That's a secret.
Who's filming this game? Is Patty Two Cams going to be filming the game?
It's going to be a very special night at the Students vs. Faculty Staff basketball game. We'll talk a bit more about that later. But
Nino's actually been the one that's played the most recently because he always plays at his school.
That's true.
For staff.
That's true. The last time I picked up a basketball in a game setting was last year's game, as the Dolphins come away with another steal. Lambert for 3. Splash!
Ashley Lambert is back in the tank, and she knocks down the 3. Cha-ching!
We need a soundboard.
Get Andrew to play some sounds over the PA.
Dolphins by 8. Davis, feet inside. Abrams finishes the reverse. That quieted the crowd just a bit. Rose picked up her dribble, can't find anywhere to go with it, and gets it to Lambert. Under 5 minutes to play, third quarter. LaFaro on the drive. Had it stripped away, and it will be Knights basketball. And we are inside of 5 minutes. Media timeout. And Nick, we'll stay right here and talk a bit more about the basketball game coming up. If there are any students watching or any faculty or staff watching at home right now, the game is definitely scheduled for Thursday night. It will either be at 7 o'clock in the auxiliary gymnasium or at 6 o'clock right here in the main gym.
Oh, that'd be nice.
That would be nice. Now, the reason I said it's a very special faculty, staff versus students game is because the season finale of the Dolphin Pod will be recorded at the game. So,
oh, wow. Is no Nino going to be on the Dolphin Pod?
Anyone who participates in the game, student or staff, will be welcome to join us on the Dolphin Pod. We will have our setup at center court. Whenever I'm not in the game, I will be on headset. We'll have some guests, including some of our former co-hosts. Nick Bavona, expected to be here. Andrew Rotundo, expected to be here. I'll have to check Louis Matrone's work schedule.
The question is, will Nick, Louis, and Andrew all be wearing hats while playing in the game like last year? Andrew actually wasn't in the game last year.
That's a good question. We will see. We will see when it comes to the headwear choices.
Is Sal Caruso going to play? Last year he had a bit of an ankle injury, a knee injury. He was recovering.
He was coming off a knee injury. Got a couple of minutes. I'll have to ask him. Not sure. But it's going to be a fun night. Food and refreshments to come after the game. And then, of course, we have the sports information after party. The location of that is a secret. Unfortunately, students cannot attend that, but perhaps if you're on team staff.
There's a few places, if you know Joe and the Foreign Faithful, as to where they'll be going, and it won't be hard to figure out.
No, it won't. We're back to action here at the Tank. Dolphins lead it by 6. Just over 4.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. The Knights led by as many as 14 points in the first half. And before that last shot, it was a 20-point swing in favor of the Dolphins. CSI run comes to an end on that jumper by Jordis Tordet-Lacey. CSI by 4. This is Phelan for 3. Off back iron, no good. And a foul was called against Lambert, going for the rebound.
Dolphins foul number 2, Ashley Lambert, her first personal foul.
And that's going to be a free throw for Queens, with Dolphins now with 5 fouls.
Bonus time for the Knights, and that helps them here with 4 and change to go in this third quarter. Davis to the line for 2. That free throw off back iron, no good. But the rebound goes to the Knights, who, as I mentioned before, have stayed in this game and built a lead on the back of their offensive rebounding. And turnovers continue to simply crush them as Davis coughed it up along the baseline.
Lots of turnovers for both teams, both well within the double digits at this point. And nobody really is able to break away in this one so far.
Corner three is good. Lambert from downtown.
Cue up that sound effect, Joe. Cha-ching. Ashley does it again.
10 points for Lambert, all in this third quarter.
Lambert making a strong push if the team is victorious for the TLC Physical Therapy Player of the Game.
Abrams in the corner, back up top to Davis. 8 to shoot now for the Knights. Davis, deep 2. Rolls off the rim and is rebounded by Alarcon. Rose, too strong. And the Knights have the rebound. A foul was called against Queens very late.
Yeah, they pushed Alarcon to the ground there on the rebound attempt.
Knights foul number 6, Letitia Rose for the third. Team score.
So Dolphins will get the ball under their own basket.
Feed goes to Alarcon, and she draws the foul. So Genelise will head to the line with a chance to put the Dolphins ahead by 9.
Knights foul number 22, Nikira Ruaka, her fourth, Team Smith.
First free throw by Alarcon, no good.
This will be the 10th. This will be the 9th free throw attempt, I believe, of the game for the Dolphins. 4 for 9 from the free throw line for them.
Abrams gave it up and got it right back. She was forced to accelerate through Dolphins' pressure. 18 on the shot clock. Davis, nice Euro step, and is able to bank it in.
Great move there by Davis on the Euro step. Knocks it in.
Phelan off the mark from 3. Knights have the rebound. Out Lacey surveys. Now Davis left open. She's too strong on the 3. Another offensive board for the Knights. That's been par for the course in this game. Queens all over the offensive glass. However, that comes with it a lot of missed shots. Tough shot by Davis in heavy traffic, and that's an air ball. Here comes CSI on the break. Lambert for a wide open LaFaro. Splash!
Lizzie in the corner there. Knocks it down. Another three-pointer for her.
Baseline drive, Abrams lost her footing. And throwing it off the bottom of the rim was Henriquez. She blows the second try, has another offensive rebound, and scores.
Well, I know what they say, Joe. If at first you don't succeed, never give up and try again, and then try again. Third time's the charm there.
LaFaro now, with the Dolphins leading by 7. Rose could not get it to Alarcon. Good idea on that pass, but Kyra couldn't put it on target with the left hand. Haggett into the game for Phelan here. 1:13 to go in the third. And a whistle just beyond half court as LaFaro was called for the foul. And the Knights will be back at the free throw line. And I said it before, early bonus for Queens in this quarter. Dolphins have done a pretty good job keeping Queens off the line since committing that 15th foul.
Yeah, this is only the first time they're back at the line since then. LaFaro saying ball don't lie as that free throw was missed. Stealing one of your lines, which we stole from Rasheed Wallace.
Second free throw good, 1 for 2 trip to the line for Tordet Lacey. Just over a minute to go, third quarter. Dolphins lead by 6. Haggett had that pass tipped, but Lambert pulls it in and finds Alarcon. Backdoor cut by Haggett. Thought about the shot. And Haggett ends up wide open. That's a deep 2. No good. And that was last touched by Willis, who can't believe it.
Yeah, they go off Rose and then off Willis and out of bounds.
Willis definitely touched that last from my view. 20-second shot clock for the Dolphins, and they turn it over. Dolphins have done a good job cleaning up the turnover since the first half. At halftime, CSI had 10 turnovers, 4 in this third quarter. Far better. .16 to shoot now for the Knights.
8 turnovers in this quarter for Queens.
It's been a sloppy game for Queens as that three-pointer rolls off the front rim short. Dolphins can hold for the last shot if they want to. LaFara will fake, can't finish. And Rose ties up with Willis. Possession arrow favors the Knights. Ten seconds to go in the third. Tordet Lacey uses the Willis screen. Feeds it inside. Henriquez can't get the roll. Alarcon has the rebound, and that will do it for the third quarter. Dolphins jump ahead by 6 through 30 minutes. Our score, Staten Island 41, Queens 35.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experience as possible.
Johnson will set up, look for Lambert, who she gives it to. Lambert takes the screen from Alarcon. She shoots the 2, and she's fouled. So she'll head to the free throw line. Couple of free throws upcoming here. Dolphins had 43-35 in the fourth quarter. 8:34 remaining in this game. The first free throw attempt by Lambert is good. Bounce off the back of the rim, but ended up bouncing back in. Second free throw attempt, also good. So Lambert with a 2-for-2 trip to the line there. Dolphins continuing the press. Out of the inbound, they knock out of bounds. So the Queens College Knights will maintain possession of the ball. Officials over at the scorers table potentially looking to fix something with the clock.
Dolphins foul number 4, Kaya Johnson, her second team's first.
So Johnson is called for a foul here, and that's going to put Brianna Davis at the free throw line.
All right, thank you, Nick, for taking over. We had a technical issue that is actually still ongoing pertaining to our power supply here at the commentary desk. So we have a power strip that provides the electric for all of our broadcasting equipment. However, my laptop is not receiving power from that power strip. I'm not exactly sure what the problem is.
Maybe it's the outlet.
Perhaps.
Looks like it was.
We'll work on it. We'll work on it.
Your laptop's getting power now.
Is it getting sound? Nonetheless, Dolphins lead by 8. Just over 8 minutes to play. We apologize for our viewers missing about a minute of action, but we got back on the air quickly. That's Willis, too strong off the window on that mid-range jumper. And you could see it, Nick. It seems the Knights have tired just a bit as this game has progressed. And Lambert makes it a double-digit CSI lead.
Well, it is Saturday, but the banks are open until around 2 o'clock, 2:20 now. So Lambert continuing to cash in from three-point range in this game.
For a moment, I thought you were saying she banked it in. I was like, my eyes are really failing, because that would be the second time that has happened to me on the air this year.
Cashing in. She's cashing in.
I got it now.
Ashley Lambert.
Cashing those checks from downtown. Shot by Awaka was no good at the other end.
Tyler's making it rain over here, I think.
Lambert left open, and she knocks down another.
Well, there's no doubt about it now, Joe. If the Dolphins win, Lambert is going to be the TLC Physical Therapy Player of the Game.
Now, let's just say that our TLC Physical Therapy backdrop met a very unfortunate end. We're going to rectify that between games. We have a new frame that arrived earlier in the week, as Alarcon can't convert the easy layup, was blocked on the second try. And the Dolphins will maintain a 14-point advantage. Davis up top. This is Abrams on the wing. Enriquez out for Willis. And the Knights throw it away. Well, early in this game, Queens was out shooting CSI from the field. That has completely flipped. The Dolphins have come out red hot in the second half. They're now shooting up above 40% from the field, 41.3, and are 6 of 12 from downtown. At halftime, the Dolphins were shooting just 9 of 26 and had not made a single three-pointer. CSI in the second half is 6 for 9 from downtown.
That's for the story, Joe. As we know about this Dolphins squad, they do or die by the three.
That's an offensive foul on Davis. So that will go down as turnover number 25 for Queens. They have out-rebounded the Dolphins 37-17, but they have missed 33 shots in this game. Dolphins have missed 28.
Well, it's not easy when you have multiple players playing over 30 minutes in a game, but these girls for Queens College have definitely given a tremendous effort so far this afternoon.
No doubt about that. The crowd wants Lambert to shoot it. Alarcon on the feed, finds Lambert cutting to the basket, but Ashley can't finish.
Ashley wants those last 2 points to get 20.
She scored 16 or more in 3 straight games now. She just needed a bit of encouragement from the commentary desk, as Davis is way off from 3. Alarcon has the rebound.
Well, I do know Ashley is a big fan of my Ashley calls, so we'll see what she has to say if we speak to her in the postgame.
We certainly appear headed for that conversation if the Dolphins can hold on to this lead with just over 5 minutes to play. And Haggett rattles in a 3 from the corner.
Well, we've seen Haggett this season show that she has no hesitations about shooting those threes late in the game, and she knocks another one in there.
Haggett has been a big contributor off the Dolphins bench. CSI, the last couple of seasons, has been in need of a second shooter off the bench that they can rely on from three-point range. Typically, they've had a sixth woman who's coming off the bench and been effective from downtown, whether that was Gia Esposito last season or Lizzie LaFaro each of the last 2 seasons. But now Haggett has given them that extra outside shooting presence. And so far this season from three-point range, entering today's game, Haggett 5 of 10. She's now 6 of 11.
Yeah, Haggett from Bush Academy in Londonderry, New Hampshire, decided to come down the turnpike and go to school here. And the freshman is off to a good start here in her Dolphins career.
CSI leads by 17 points. And, Nick, they've really run away with this game in the second half. They were trailing at halftime, but in the second half, the Dolphins have outscored Queens 32-13.
Yeah, it all ended up coming down to that stamina we talked about in the pregame. Were this Queens College squad of only 6 players going to be able to last till the end here? And They kind of ran out of some steam here in the second half.
Queens was within striking distance to open up this quarter, but the Dolphins these last couple of minutes, 3:38 to be exact, have gone on a 9-0 run. And that has really separated them. Meanwhile, Queens in the game is without a three-pointer. They're 0 for 7 from downtown. With that last make by Haggett, the Dolphins are now 7 of 13 from three-point range.
Great job shooting the three today for the Dolphins, 53.8%. Coach Sarkar will take that any game. And despite being severely out-rebounded by 21 rebounds, it hasn't really mattered.
A lot of those rebounds, and not to say all of them by any stretch, but a lot of those rebounds have been off of their own misses. We'll get an official offensive rebound tally, and for Queens, that is 19. So almost half of their 39 rebounds have been on the offensive glass as Lambert knocks down a deep two. Dolphins by 19.
Great job by Lambert in this game to close it out for the Dolphins.
All of Lambert's points in this second half. She now has 20 and is 7 of 10 from the field, 4 of 5 from beyond the arc. And Awaka gets the easy two off the nice feed. Four minutes to play from CSI. Alarcon never received that pass as Lambert tried to thread the needle. Willis for Henriquez, and Awaka is called for an offensive foul. No basket.
Lambert might be in the running for the ECC Women's Player of the Week.
No question about it. Especially with the Dolphins headed for 2-0 in the conference. And if you're the Dolphins, both the men's and women's team, you have to be really excited about how this season has started. The men already had a 3-game win streak with some quality victories in there. The women now on the verge of their 4th straight win.
Longest win streak in program history at the D2 level officially.
That's a nice stat. And for the men, if they win today, both men's and women's basketball will have opened their conference season 2-0. Keep in mind, the Dolphins were picked to finish 7th in the ECC despite a playoff berth last season on the women's side as Lambert just keeps scoring.
Splish splash. Ash is nothing but cash this afternoon.
Dolphins back ahead by 19. Now looking ahead at the upcoming schedule, conference play continues on Wednesday. Dolphins will travel to Mercy University. I actually passed by Mercy last Sunday on my way to Medford, New York. Had to call a game for a client of my own broadcasting company, but passed Mercy University on the way there. Probably about an hour and 10 minutes into our drive.
How far was the drive overall?
Probably 2:20.
Yikes.
Long drive.
You're going to Connecticut for the game?
Medford, New York.
Oh, okay.
We passed by Mercy on the way. But looking ahead, the Dolphins face Mercy on Wednesday. Our schedule for the rest of the year, very light. Mostly weekends, as that shot is no good from the corner by Masinge. Henriquez with the rebound. But we have Stack here at the Tank next Saturday. Then our next broadcast will be 1 week after that. For the women, they will face Caldwell University on December 16th, another Saturday game.
That's it for the calendar year.
And then on the men's side, they will face St. Michael's College. So a non-conference doubleheader on December 16th. You don't see that very often.
Timeout, Queens.
Particularly after conference play gets started.
Yeah.
But after the 16th, we are off until the 30th. So 2 weeks off between December 16th and 1 day before New Year's Eve.
The Christmas break, but no better way to end the year than listening to us on the ECC Network.
I can't dispute that, but hopefully everyone at home agrees. Dolphins lead it by 19 with 2:17 on the clock. We'll stay right here as CSI is closing in on their second conference victory of the season. We anticipate that we will get a chance to speak with Ashley Lambert in the postgame. Lambert in the second half, 22 points.
Big second half. All her points in the second half. Tremendous job. She'll definitely get her accolades with some awards or like some nominations perhaps, and maybe this is something that'll be talked about in the upcoming Dolphin pod as well.
Certainly could be. And it will be the season finale, episode 10 of season 3. That episode I would expect to premiere next Saturday ahead of our doubleheader. So what we'll do, we'll come on a bit early next Saturday ahead of the games against Stack, and we will premiere the latest episode of the official CSI Athletics podcast.
Coach Sarcone emptying the bench here for the Dolphins, but Lambert getting rewarded, gets to stay on after her great second half.
The question is there anybody else going to attempt a shot in these last 2 minutes?
I think so. I mean, if you're coming in the game here as a freshman and you haven't played all game, you're probably going to try to take a shot if you touch the ball. But there's only actually one freshman, 2 upperclassmen that came in.
Now, interesting question. The Knights there, they double Lambert across half court. It's a 19-point game. Do they see Lambert out there on the floor and know they've left her in, we're not going to let her shoot? Is that something that they're thinking about?
I think so. I think it's a pride thing. Enough already is what you're telling each other in this huddle.
Well, if you're the Dolphins, you have to love what you've got from Ashley Lambert these last 3 games. Slow start to the season through 4 games. That is now a distant memory, as she has scored 16, 18, and 22 in her last 3 games.
Captain of the team her senior year, and she's going out with some flair so far early on in the season.
Now, something else that I'd like to check on before we sign off. Is it a career high? We'll find out. We'll have that for you by the time Ashley joins us for the TLC Physical Therapy postgame report. Gabby Gazemar in the game. She got a start against Wilmington, and Lambert's too strong on the 3. Henriquez with the rebound.
Like we'd all like to see Gazemar score her first career basket as a Dolphin.
Hand off to Davis. Abrams for 3. No good. Another offensive rebound was knocked away by Weesey. Good effort there on the glass, but it stays Knights basketball. Season high for Lambert last year was 20. So if she did set a career high before today, that very well may be it. 12 on the shot clock. Abrams left open again. Short. And Davis had it stripped away. Brings in the rebound. Another offensive board. Lambert had 21 twice during her freshman season, had 20 once last season, and has set a career high today with 22 points.
Great afternoon for Ashley as Queens continues with the offensive rebounds.
Well, the Dolphins cannot keep the Knights off the offensive glass. That's been a recurring theme for the entire 40 minutes, but it won't matter. CSI surges ahead in the second half with a huge third quarter. Perhaps even bigger fourth quarter in terms of points scored. I don't think there's any question about that. And in fact, they did score more in the third by 2.
Well, if you take what the Dolphins scored just in the second half, that is what propelled them to victory after a really rough first half.
First quarter was 15-6 Queens. Since then, second quarter, 16-9 CSI. Third quarter, 19-11 CSI. And this fourth quarter, 17-4 CSI. So in terms of point differential, this is the biggest quarter of the game. For the Dolphins, they take a timeout and will use this time to diagram a play. Nicole Sarcone has the clipboard with the marker, and she will draw something up for what will likely be the final CSI offensive possession of the game. But Nick, this Dolphins team, as I said before, has given us plenty to be excited about earlier in this season. Dolphins got the season started with a win, dropped a couple of games, but have bounced back in a big way.
Big way for sure, Joe. The wins are rolling in right now. Things are looking really good early on here now in the ECC with these 2 victories in conference play.
The all-time series between CSI and Queens, I believe, was knotted up at 2, operating off memory here. All of these notes were reserved for the pregame, but 2-2 in favor of the Dolphins now, 3-2 following today in the all-time series as the Dolphins turn it over on the inbound. Willis for Davis, and Davis does not get the roll. We see with the rebound. Lambert will bring it up.
One more shot here, Joe, or did the Dolphins just hold it?
Oh, they're probably going to shoot once more, I would say. Now, if you recall, last year, the game between CSI and Queens was a big one. As for the CSI women at that time, they were looking to secure a playoff spot. They needed a win late in the season. They got it. They beat the Knights 57-46 as Gazemar is blocked twice. And she commits the foul.
Well, that was a big game back then, and this one had a bit of a different feel to it, but a good result here. But keep it locked here on the ECC Network. The men's game coming up in a little bit, Joe. Definitely not going to start on time, I don't think. But the men are going to debut the alternative baby blue uniforms, which we thought were long gone. We'll be wearing those this afternoon.
Dolphins have it and can dribble out the final seconds. Big game for Ashley Lambert and the College of Staten Island. Career high for Cashley. She finishes the game with 22 points, and the Dolphins win it 58-41 to improve to 2-0 in the East Coast Conference. Coming up next, our TLC Physical Therapy post-game report with player of the game, Ashley Lambert.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calabrese.
Here we are, 200 episodes later, about 150 episodes with guests, our friends, soon to be your friends.
Well, it's pretty clear, Joe, that it's all about You Know I'm Right, the podcast. That's my You Know I'm Right moment. Wanted to do a podcast, and everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen? You're not going to get guests. Well, guess what? I'm the best when it comes to getting guests. You could vouch for that.
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials. Check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, whether you work in media now, whether you want to quit your job and work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
And we are back from the tank. Joe Foreman rejoining you for the College of Staten Island with our TLC Physical Therapy player of the game. Nick is joined on the court by Ashley Lambert.
All right, thanks, Joe. Here with the player of the game, Ashley Lambert. Ashley, slow start for this team, slow start for you. Tremendous second quarter, awesome second half, career high 22 points all in the second half. You were feeling it out there today.
I was. It took us a minute to adjust in the first half. I started off slow. Teammates started off slow, but the second half we were able to pick it up.
2-0 so far in conference play, 4-game win streak. The wins are just coming right now. How's it feel?
It feels amazing. 2-0 in the conference. You know, they didn't place us the highest in the rankings, but we're trying to prove our spot now, you know?
Prove the doubters wrong. I like that mentality. All right, Ashley, congratulations. Best luck rest of the season, and go enjoy the win. Joe, back to you.
Thank you, Nick. Once again, our TLC Physical Therapy player of the game, Ashley Lambert. Nick, you know that the Dolphins are well aware of where they were ranked in that coach's preseason poll. Cashley making sure the rest of the conference is on notice. CSI looking to prove their standing in the East Coast Conference after finishing in the number 5 seed last year. They take another step towards a good finish in the ECC with still plenty of conference basketball left to play.
Yeah, great start so far to this season, and lots more basketball to come. We'll see how the journey unfolds as the season progresses.
And that will do it for you and I from the tank. Once again, Dolphins with a big win over Queens College. Our final score, Staten Island 58, Queens 41. We'll be back on the air in about 10 minutes. Men's basketball against the Queens College Knights coming up next. This is NCAA Division II basketball coverage on CSI Sportsnet, a proud part of the ECC Network.